Hi Arpan, welcome on YourPedia.
Thank you, sir. How are you, sir?
Wonderful Arpan, and let me thank you for sparing your time for this interaction. And Arpan,
My
you
pleasure.
got selected in PhD program in UK.
Yep.
So I'll be discussing about that opportunity, and I'll be discussing about your academic journey. And the main objective of this entire interaction is to provide the first-hand experience to many Indian students who aspire to be in such universities and pursue PhD from foreign universities. So Arpan, I start with your brief background. So can you tell my viewers about your background, which part of India you are, and from where you done your graduation, and how was your journey before you landed up in PhD program?
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Arpan. I come from West Bengal, Bardhaman. My primary schoolings were in my village there up to 10 plus 2. Then I did my undergraduate in physics from Samsunda College, which was in my locality. And then I pursued my master's in applied physics from NIT Silchar. And after completion of my master's in 2023, I joined Inter-University Accelerator Center as a junior research fellow to work in a project. It was like indigenous development of superconducting MRI machine, which was a Make in India initiative. Uh, in the same year, I got a PhD opportunity at IIT Hyderabad, but eventually I didn't join there. I continued the project. Then in 2025 November, I came here at Strathclyde University, Glasgow, for pursuing my PhD.
Okay, wonderful. So, Arpan, from your brief introduction, I found that you got opportunity for PhD in a very prestigious IIT Hyderabad, but you did not opt for it, and you preferred
Uh,
to do it from foreign universities in
yeah.
UK. So, can you tell my viewers about the reason? I mean, why somebody should do PhD from foreign instead of premium institutes in India?
Okay, so for me, there are like two reasons. The first one was before joining IUAC, the Inter-University Accelerator Center, I was really confused what I want to do in life. Even after my master's, I joined IT sector. It was a edtech company where I worked for 2 months, and I realized that okay, I cannot survive in IT sector. That's not for me. So I was
Mm,
exploring. I was then started to apply for internships, different research opportunities. And when I joined IUSC, after working 1 month, I realized that's it. This is what I want to do. And also, I
mm,
reconnected with my childhood. Like as a kid, I used to play with magnets. Like you get these small magnets inside toys, right? So I used to like hammer them, burn them, to see if the magnetic property increases. But that time I didn't understand the science. But yeah, after working at IUSC, I reconnected with my childhood. And also the second reason is it was a Make in India initiative. And as a person from science background, you always want to contribute for the scientific progress of the country. That's why I decided I'll continue the project instead of PhD, and then later I'll decide what to do.
Okay, wonderful. So at what stage did you start exploring opportunities for PhD abroad?
So I joined IUSC in 2025 February, and the same year from December I started exploring for PhD abroad.
Okay, and Arpan, what were the typical, credentials required, for you to get into this program? I mean, for if some student is listening to us as of now, and he also wants to pursue his PhD abroad, what credentials are required? So, like you are from science background and you have done undergrad in physics. So, please also tell, like you have done BSc in physics or you have done MSc in physics. Is a 3 years course or 5 years course? What is this course and what are the credentials required?
For this PhD, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in our group, I have seen that they normally take direct PhD also, which is like if you have a undergraduate degree, then also you can come here. But the most thing for our area is like they want experience, at least 1 year of experience. They search for it. And
Mhm.
also if you have a high CGPA, that also helps. Like I had probably 9.73, so that
Mhm.
really helped me. And
Mhm.
moreover, these my 1 year and 8 months of experience with these we MRI magnet, that is what helped me to get here.
Okay, so your BSc was 3 years program, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you've done MSc also in India, or you got direct PhD?
No, I also did a master's in India.
Masters also you did. Okay, now Arpan, coming to PhD program. So I was also asking you like credentials. You some credentials you have already mentioned, like job experience is very important and all. But I was trying to ask you like requirement of IELTS, like English proficiency test,
Oh,
or
okay.
what other things are required.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, IELTS was required. It was probably 7 bands if required to get
Okay,
admission.
okay. So IELTS
And
is required. Yeah.
required, yeah. At UK, at every university you must have IELTS for PhD.
Yes. And what about letter of recommendations? How many LORs are required? How many people? I mean, we need.
For me, I required two.
Okay. So, letter of recommendation is required at the time of application, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And can you also tell my viewers about the timeline of admissions in UK? Like, say, when did you apply and when did you get the shortlisting and when did you join the program? Something like that timeline.
Okay, yes, sure. So the timeline, like it starts from December and up to March or April, they select students. After
Hmm.
that, the session is finished. But for
Okay.
me, what happened that I used to apply. I also used to approach professors from LinkedIn. From like I will search for papers. From these papers, I will search who is active professors in this area, and then I used to mail them. So this thing got me this PhD opportunity. So my professor is Professor Min Zhang. I found her profile in LinkedIn. I emailed him, and then she was impressed with my CV, and she called me for an interview, and then she selected me. So this was after the session was over, but the positions was still open. That's why I think I got this.
So that means even if the deadlines and application timeline are over, even then professor can take, right?
Yeah, but you have to be lucky. I think I was lucky.
Good. Okay. Now, Arpan, coming to funding part. So, when did you join PhD program? Because for the past couple of years, especially 2, 3 years, it is looking like a lot of funding crunch globally. I mean,
Yeah.
foreign universities and all. So, when did you join PhD program? And did you face any kind of funding problem?
Okay, so the funding problem, it was like I had done really good interview at Cambridge University. So
Hmm.
I knew before the interview, the professor told me the funding is only for home students. That is, it's only
Okay.
for UK students. But
Hmm.
still, like he was impressed with my CV, so he called me for the interview. That went really well, and he informed me that he will try to give the funding to me, but eventually he couldn't. So I didn't get the opportunity at Cambridge. So that was
Hmm.
that funding issue part. But here
Hmm.
at Strathclyde University, they have their own funding. So it was like they call it as SIA, which is Student Excellence Award. So from the beginning, I got this award, and I started PhD with the funding.
Okay. So, from the very beginning, you could get a scholarship in the university, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so Arpan, what is your take on like Cambridge is a very prestigious university. So, what
yeah.
is your take on like if somebody gets opportunity to study in Cambridge, Princeton, Harvard, MIT, Stanford, but without funding, should the
Mm.
chance be taken? I mean, should you take that risk? Because many of my students say that in the beginning they don't get it, but after a semester or so, they start getting the scholarship. So, how do you see this now on sitting on in those universities?
Okay, so if you are hopeful that after starting your PhD after 1 or 2 months you can get the funding, then you should go ahead. You can like manage 1 or 2 months. But if you don't have any hope, the PhD fees is very high. Like for in UK it is 31,000 pound per year, which is
Okay.
probably 60 lakhs. So it's a very high amount. But if you are
Mhm.
hopeful, then you should go for it. And also from my mistake, I like to say that there are other funding also, like Commonwealth scholarships and this type of funding, and Cambridge also has GATE scholarship. So you should really try for these fundings.
Mm.
If you have all funding already, then it's very easy to get PhD in UK.
Okay, so that means you should first try to get the funding and then you get into PhD.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, Arpan, now coming to your university, please tell about university in which you are pursuing your PhD right now.
Okay, so it's Strathclyde University in Glasgow, and Glasgow is a like very beautiful city. Also, the AQI is pretty good here. And about the university, like our group is like I'll say it's highly famous or highly prestigious group here at Triple E department. It's electronic and electrical engineering. Yeah, that's all. I don't know what to
Mm.
say anymore.
Okay, and also tell about the research areas. Now you are pursuing your
Okay.
research, so please tell prospective students about what kind of research domains you are working in your
Okay.
department.
So superconductivity is a pretty niche area in physics, and within superconductivity, applied superconductivity is more specific. So the chance of getting a PhD in applied superconductivity, I'll say it's very less. So you have to try very pretty hard, then only you can get these opportunities. And about superconductivity, if I have to tell, like, so superconductivity is they are special kind of material whose resistance becomes zero when you cool them down below a certain temperature. And they have many applications. Like for my project, I'm working with high temperature superconductors for nuclear fusion. So in nuclear fusion, to start the fusion process, you need high amount of heat, which can be generated using superconducting magnets, and that's my project.
Okay, so how long are you there now in PhD?
It's been 6 months,
Okay, so Arpit, what is the typical duration of PhD in UK?
3 to 3.5 years.
Okay, and the very important question, like, what after PhD? So, what are the typical opportunities and options after PhD?
Okay, so I can only tell in my area.
Yeah.
So nowadays, every country is like US, China, Japan, and UK. All the European countries, they are really trying hard to harvest fusion energy, because and if they can be successful, then definitely the energy crisis of the world will not be there. So these sectors are booming actually nowadays, fusion and cryogenic things. Also, even in India, so this applied superconductive sector, it's not very famous in India, but as I told, I worked in the MRI project. So now that project is over, and now government has started a new thing, that MRI technology is established. Now government wants it to come to the market. So people should come to this area, because you will now start to get opportunity in India also, and also these quantum computers that are also coming in India and worldwide. So the opportunities are increasing. So
Well,
you
so that
can
means, mm,
work as a research fellow, research
yeah.
scientist, and also in academia.
So whatever industries or startups will come up in this domain, there you will get opportunities for R&D. Am I right in that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay, Arpan, now coming to universities and other educational ecosystem in UK, especially in Glasgow region. So please tell about the opportunities for Indian students. Now you are there for the last 6 months, and I'm very sure you have fairly good idea about kind of educational system in UK. So
Hmm.
broadly, how you will tell students back home about the opportunities existing in UK, like can they get funding, can they get opportunities, and about UK system.
Yeah, definitely they can get funding. Like if I can, then definitely there are people smarter than me, I'll say. So obviously they can get. And the like, I have some postgraduate students with me in my accommodation. So from their discussions with me, what I've understood, that like in India, the masters, I pursued masters in India, so it's mainly exam focused. So we always like worried about exams, but here it's not like that. Here the study is mainly assignment based, and these assignments are pretty good. Like they are not like just questions and answers, so it will make you think, it will make you generate ideas. And here students are given very importance. If you don't understand, so let's say I'm here is doing postgraduate, so if I don't understand a simple thing, nobody will tell me, oh, you don't know even this. So they will encourage you, they will try to make you understand. So that is very good here. And the
Mm,
postgraduation is 1 year course here, not 2 year.
mm. Okay, so 1 year post-graduation course in UK, is that equally effective like 2 years program if somebody wants to do PhD later on?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's equally effective. And what I've seen, Indian students, they are pretty much, they are like brilliant than here, the people I have seen. So
Yeah.
if they can come here, they will definitely be successful.
Good. Now coming to master's program, Arpan, do we have opportunities for funding in masters also, or is it very difficult to get funding in masters?
To be honest, I don't know much about masters, but there are like Fulbright scholarships, I think, for masters.
Hmm. Yeah. So scholarships are there. So
Hmm.
typically, do you know people around you who in PhD are studying, or they started PhD without funding, but later on they started getting the funding?
No, I don't know people like that.
Okay. And coming to now, what we say work-life balance of typical PhD scholar. If I, enter into your daily schedule or routine, weekly, in fact. So, how PhD scholar lead their life in the
Okay.
campus?
So here nobody will tell you to work. So it totally depends on you. Like
Mm,
I meet my supervisor once in a week, maybe only 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or when required, 20 to 30 minutes. But
mm,
that one meeting is more than enough. And then in the whole week, she doesn't care what I'm doing. If I wish, I'll come. If I don't wish, I'll stay at my room or whatever I will do. So here nobody is going to tell you that you have to do this, you have to do that. So it's totally depends on you.
Okay, but sometimes I get surprised, like in India, in IIT system, if I tell you, like research scholars are spending their even weekends, like Saturday, Sunday, in their labs. They're putting a lot of effort, but still, in typical old IITs like IIT Kanpur, it takes 6 years, 7 years after MS and masters. I'm saying. On the other hand, when we talk about universities abroad, like typically in European universities, you get a PhD, enjoying work-life balance, not working on weekend, not going to the labs on weekend, still completing in 3 to 3.5 years. What is the reason? Why you think so?
I think like here things are very specific. Like when you are working, you will only work. No gossips or no time waste. And
Mm,
also my professor, she is also very specific. If I am doing something wrong, she will directly tell me, no, you shouldn't do that. You should think like that in other direction. So they don't like to do time waste here, and also they will not force you to work overnight or over hour. I
mm,
think that
mm,
is the main difference here.
Okay. And what is the typical relations you enjoy with your supervisors?
Oh, it's pretty much professional. Only we only talk about works and nothing else. But from some of the students I've heard, like if they face some problems with their personal lives, and if they want to discuss, then she's ready to discuss. Otherwise, it's totally professional.
Mm. So, Arpan, you only tried in UK for PhD or some other countries also?
Okay, so my area I have seen like I didn't find a single opportunity in US. First, I was trying to get into US, but there was not a single opportunity. And so in my area, it's only in Europe and in UK. I tried in some universities in Germany, but I didn't get there. Instead, got here.
Okay. Okay, so see, more or less, Arpan, I have discussed with you whatever inputs I wanted from your side for students. Anything which I must have missed, you can add to that, or any message you want to give to prospective students, research scholars.
Okay, so yeah, okay, definitely. Like I will say that a person like me who's not even smart, who grew up in a rural environment, and also I failed in my BSc in first year. I failed, and I needed to give in my time it was a yearly examination, so I needed to give then first year and second year together. And in my master first year I was a person like whatever I do in life I am never going outside India. And from that position if I can come to UK, then there are people who is definitely smarter than me. You all surely can come. That is
Wonderful.
what I say.
Wonderful. So life gives you opportunities, Arpan. So the person who, because of one reason or the other, failed in BSc, if I must say, not failed but could not pass BSc first year or something, maybe, but
Yeah.
eventually was almost there in Cambridge University. So you got selected in Cambridge also. So
Yeah.
that is a wonderful, inspirational thing, Arpan, from your chapter of your this life. So it's wonderful, and I must thank you once again for the time you spared, and we wish you all the very best for your PhD head. And also, right now you have spent 6 months in your PhD. I'll again pop up towards the end of your PhD to again, know more about your PhD experience. So we understand this is one of the very, very, uh, uh, degree which requires intense effort and focus. So we wish you all the very best for this. So thanks a lot again for
Thank you,
this
sir.
interaction. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you.